Good evening, everybody. This is Donna from Purple Pinky Promises, and I have a beautiful butterfly vintage tag to share with you this evening. I'm quite excited, as you can see here. And what I did was I started out die cutting two butterflies from each size. So I have two small, two medium, and two large. However, I only need two small bodies and one large body, as you will see later. Okay, we've got the delicate butterflies from Spellbinders that we're using here, and I'll talk a little bit more about those later on. I'm showing you the papers that I've used here. I've used some Catherine Pooler Twilight reading paper. I'm just giving you a little gander at the different patterns that I used from that. Now this is the Honeybee Modern Spring paper that I've used for the butterflies as well. And we have some Bee Bliss paper from Honeybee Stamps too. Okay. That's the papers that I've used. And the tag that I've used is from Pinkfresh. It's the classic tags with fillable elements. I've just used that simple cutout. And then what we have here that I'm showing you now is that is one of the Tim Holtz products. It is the, I'm trying to remember what that went by really fast. It's the Sizzix Tim Holtz 3D Impresslits-Floral frame. Okay. And I don't know if I've missed anything else, but you can catch all of the items in the description. It's below on YouTube and it's above on Facebook. Okay, now we have some Hickory Smoke Distress Oxide. We're using all Distress Oxides in this project. And didn't you love how I flipped that lid? We're just ready to slide right in here. So I'm inking up those edges. And I think this is the only time I use the Hickory Smoke. I think I end up using the Black Soot and the Weathered Wood and the Tattered Rose for the rest of this video. Okay, now we have Sunny Studios stamps, and I want that Eiffel Tower. And that's coming from the set, I think it's Paris Afternoon. That's right, it is Paris Afternoon. Okay. So I'm just getting it on my block, and I'm just going to ink it up with some Black Soot ink. I think a lot of people would be surprised to find out that Distress Oxides actually stamp nice and clean. I do enjoy the impression that you get with Distress Oxides. It's quite nice. So now we're going in with some Weathered Wood. We're just going to ink it up and kind of give it a little bit more color, a bluish tint, giving it a vintage look. And I'll end up going around this, around the edges again with this Black Soot. But I'm going to dry it up here because the oxides can stay wet on the surface for quite some time. Because I'm going into that lighter Tattered Rose, I don't want to get that dark color on my brush and then dip it back into my pad. And as you can see, I'm rubbing it off so that it doesn't go back into my pad. Okay, or smudge. Now I'm going around the edges, and I just I take the pad to my tag and to get a dark edge. And I liked it. However, I just decided I was just going to smooth it out. I wanted a little more dark around, a little more than just the edge. So I kind of smoothed it out and brought it in on the tag. So, and now I'm just blending it. Now our tag's ready for the background for now. We'll add some more to it here in a bit. Okay. So now we're going to ink up these butterflies. And with each of these butterflies, I start with the black soot in the middle, then we go to weathered wood around the edges, and then I add a little more tattered rose to them, as you can see here. So I'm going to tell you about these dies. So when you cut these butterflies out, it actually does not cut out the whole butterfly. It only cuts out the butterfly image. And so there's an actual second piece that you use to die cut it out. So you can get more options with this. Now you see that I inked up a little bit of that background for that first butterfly that I did. It was too stark white, so I inked it up a little bit. But yeah, so the butterfly image does not cut out until you add that edge piece, and then it'll cut it out, which is nice, because you can have a background of butterflies that are die cut as a background piece, and you could use it as a shaker. That's kind of cool. I might do that at some point. Okay, so I do want to tell you that this next thing that I do, oh wait, no, we've got one more butterfly to ink up. So same process, black soot in the middle. Did you guys know that there are 3 parts to the body of a butterfly? Yeah. Am I bringing you back to your elementary science class? The head and the thorax and the abdomen. So, yeah. Maybe I wanted to just return a little bit back to my homeschooling days too. If my daughter's listening to this, you can roll your eyes. It's okay. We had some good one-on-one time in those days. You and Jordan. Okay. So now I'm just cutting off half of a butterfly. I'm going to use half of that wing and pick it up and attach it to the hole. I thought this would be a fun look to have a 2-sided background to go behind these butterflies. So I do this on all 3. All right. So now I'm just going to glue the front of that detail to the background. Oh, I thought I had already done that. Oh, sorry. So that's the darkening process that I darkened up that area on the right because it was too bright. So I'm going to kind of skip from this one, or maybe I don't skip to maybe I do show you the whole process. I do show you the whole process. It's when I'm attaching the body that I skip. Okay. So I feel like I should tell a bad dad joke here right now. My husband has some really good bad dad jokes. I need to get him on here. He would be hilarious voicing over this. It would be interesting to see what he would have to say about this. All right. Yay. So we're going to ink up those, I don't know if we're going to do that. Yep, we're going to ink these up and we're going to ink them up in black soot. And we're going to get the antenna, we're going to get the head, thorax, and abdomen, all of them. I had thought about doing a little bit of one color, a little of another, but I decided that solid looked better. Okay, so we start out with black soot. We're going to Tattered Rose. And then we'll do the weathered wood, and then we'll come back again with some more Tattered Rose. Again, trying to get that darker color off my brush. I think I ended up covering more of the Tattered Rose than I really wanted to, so okay, now we're gluing on the body. They're all done. Ooh, the magic of editing. Okay, so here we have the Slimline Diamond Builder stencils. And there are 4 pieces to this stencil, but I'm only using one of them. And we're going to use the Lawn Fawn white stencil paste. And I don't want this to be perfect. I basically put this stencil paste in willy-nilly, and I just want bits and pieces. I do want maybe a couple of the diamonds to be filled, but I end up with just the idea of that. It has been, the stencil paste has been put on. So I'm drying it up so we can move on with this. And I didn't bore you with all that drying. Yay, you're welcome. Okay, so now, next what we're about to do is we're going to take this Gansai Tambi. This is from Zig-Kuretake, and I'm using the white gold. And I just put a little bit of water in that pan, and I stir it up with my Taklon fan brush. And I just go to town. Make sure you have enough water in there so it will splatter. And I just tap my brush and I get as much on there as I want. And when this is done, you can see how absolutely gorgeous this just shimmers and shines. It just takes everything up a notch. It's absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. I love these paints. I use them quite a bit. My customers love them too. They love to come to class and use them. It's fun. We get paint everywhere. One time when my husband was helping me clean the studio, he was scratching on the floor, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "There's something gold on your floor." I said, ignore it. It's left over from a class. Oh my goodness. It was funny. Okay, so I'm kind of messing with these and trying to figure out where I want them to go, and this is where I've decided they're gonna be. So we're gonna commit these down and do the layering process. We live not far from the airport, so if you can hear the airplanes in the background, that's what you hear. And we get an airplane every now and then, and we're used to it, but sometimes other people that are here visiting, they're not. And they always wonder, what is that? You know, we're in Tornado Alley, so they wonder. They say a tornado sounds like a train approaching, and it really does. Okay, so this is the Cameo Beige Hug Snug Seam Binding Ribbon. And I cut off a piece of this, and I actually kind of rough it up. I didn't want it to be all pretty and smooth, and I decided I wanted to give it that old tattered vintage look. So we take some black soot oxide, say that fast 10 times, and just kind of scrunch it up and kind of muck it up and look like it's been around for a while. And then I just take the heat tool to it, and you know, it doesn't want the heat, you know, so I take my scissors and I hold it still and we dry it. Yay! And now I'm gonna just tuck it through. And there we have it. Scrunch it up a little more. looks the way I want it. Now we're happy. Now, the reason I did that before I attached my butterflies, because I knew I was going to be fussing with that ribbon and I didn't want those butterflies in the way. So, put those butterflies on now. And we are on the finishing touches of this project. This tag would look so beautiful attached to a gift. You could actually just display it in your craft room, or you could stick it on the front of a card. And that die cut from Honeybee Stamps, the Bitty Buzzwords, the Hello, I did ink it up, but I ended up not using it because I just felt like it was too much and it covered it up too much. So if you did put this on the front of a card, you could probably put it down below. Yeah, tags can go on the front of a card. You could put that on a Slimline. That would be pretty. If it would fit. I don't know, those butterflies kind of stick out. Those are the London Sequin mix from Catherine Pooler Designs. Gorgeous. They match that Twilight reading paper. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And they work so nicely with all of these colors that I've used in this project. Just adding these beautiful sequins to this project and we are done. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and viewing the videos and chatting with us when we're here live. It makes a huge difference to us. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It helps a small business, helps us move up in the metrics with YouTube and Facebook. It can be a struggle, especially if you're trying to get established. So your like and your subscribe and your follow really means a lot to us. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And there it is. Watch how I'm giving you another look from a distance and kind of turn it so you can see that shimmer and shine that it has. So pretty. All right. Thanks, you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Or if you're watching this in the morning or during the day, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.